What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video series here today. And today we're doing something really very special and very new. So I guess you could consider this kind of like an under the microscope series. Usually I don't share my lists without doing a bit more testing. But the testing that I have done with this deck has been really very positive. I went 4-1 in a comp league. And that's just like I don't know, like I put this together last minute, and I've made some changes to the deck list since. Um, but I really want to talk about the deck and what it does, and yeah, hopefully you'll probably see this around your Thanksgiving or maybe after Thanksgiving. Um, but I hope that you do enjoy it because I had a lot of fun playing the deck and I had a lot of fun building the deck. So let's talk about it, right? So I named it Dark Bant, and I was in the shower and I was thinking, there's a lot of strategies in Legacy that play like a fair game, but have enough disruptive elements that make it very powerful. So I was thinking like Leovold decks and things like that, where they just put a lot of pressure on the opponent. And Legacy is all about the blue mana cantrips, at least a big portion of it, right? Um, I would say in Modern, a big part of it is removal and hand disruption. I would say that the format is really centered around um, answering your opponent's threats in some way. At least that's what a lot of decks are trying to do. And as I love Geist of St. Trapped, I thought to myself, well, we don't quite have Leovold or True Name Nemesis in Modern, but we kind of have something like that, right? We have Geist of St. Trapped. We have a 3-mana hexproof creature that deals 6 damage a turn if it goes unblocked. So that was kind of my idea around the deck. And I was thinking, like, if I'm not playing red, what am I doing with a Geist deck, right? Well, then I'm probably trying to power it out as fast as possible. Well, we've got Noble Hierarch to do that. We have Birds of Paradise to try to get that turn to Geist. But going all in on a strategy like that leaves you really open to just being disrupted on, all other fronts. All right, so you play Noble Hierarch, you get your Geist stripped away. Well, what else are you doing? Are you just playing more dorks? What's your next game plan? And so I thought to myself, well, I want the deck to be just resilient. I want it to be powerful when it has just a fair game, but I want it to be really powerful when it's doing the best things possible, right? So obviously the best things possible are Noble Hierarch into Geist, but you can't always do that, right? So what's okay as well? Well, we have Noble Hierarch into Lingering Souls. We have Noble Hierarch into Liliana of the Veil. We have all these different like turn 3 plays that are just really powerful. But is the deck good even when you don't have a turn 1 mana dork? Well, we have Inquisition of Kozilek. All right, we disrupt our opponent a little. That way we can maybe play a 2-drop or set up our mana base and play a 3-drop. We have these removal spells over here. And what's really great about the deck is that we get to play these 4 colors, and it doesn't even feel like we're hurting ourselves all that much, right? So we're really just an Obzon deck. If you really want to think about it, we're really just a green-black Obzon deck, and we're splashing blue. You see we have 5 blue mana costs in our deck. So it's like Obzon Blue, but I prefer to call it Dark Bant because Dark Bant just sounds much cooler, in my opinion at least. We're also playing Tarmogoyfs. We're playing the ideal Obzon curve, right? We have Inquisition, Tarmogoyf, Lingering Souls, Liliana the Veil, Siege Rhinos. We have Gideon at the top of our curve. We have Snapcaster Mage to flashback some removal spells. We have Search for Escantha to dig for more action. And it really helps us also find our sideboard cards sometimes. So overall, yeah, I'm not sold on Escantha. I was kind of messing around with it before. I didn't cut it from this iteration, but I may do so in the future. But you're gonna get to see some games with it, hopefully. But I would like maybe to move Collective Brutality to the main because Collective Brutality plus Lingering Souls is just such a great combination. So what's nice is that Collective Brutality also negates some of the life loss that we take from our own mana base. So I really do enjoy Collective Brutality. Helps the burn matchup game 1 and things like that. But we're running 3 in the sideboard because I think we can we'll do fine without it in the main for now. But yeah, so let's look at the sideboard. So what's great about our list is that we get to employ colors of mana from 4 different colors, right? We have Stony Silence. That is a premier white hate sideboard card that is really very powerful. Then we get the blue, the Axis of Blue's counterspells. We have Negate, Disdainful Stroke, Dispel, We have all these things going for us that the blue really adds kind of like a tempo element to us almost. We slam a threat on turn 2, and then we just protect it and start beating in on, turn 3, turn 4. Helps against combo decks, control decks. And then we have one more Search for Canta, because sometimes you just really want to grind. And Search for Canta does that perfectly. We have an extra Maelstrom Pulse because dealing with not-land permanents is very useful. And then 3 Collective Brutalities, as I mentioned before. Now that's the black. We're dipping into... So that was black-green. Now we're dipping into straight black. And that's... Collective Brutality is such a powerful black spell that really helps the combo matchup, the aggro matchup, the burn matchup. Like, the creature combo matchup, like elves or company, anything like that. We have 1 Scooz, another 1 main, 1 side, because hating out graveyards is, again, really important. And on that same respect, I didn't want to overload on Ooze, because Ooze isn't always great, so I wanted to have 2 Nile Spellbombs. And I was considering Rest in Peace in the deck, but Rest in Peace is a pretty big non-buff with Tarmogoyf, so we're just going to go for Spellbombs plus Scavenging Ooze, and that's going to be our graveyard hate overall. But that's the deck. That's Dark Bant. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. We got Siege Rhinos at the top here. We got Gideon, Ally, Zendikar at the top. This deck is doing a lot of really, really fair but powerful things that in my testing at least has been able to beat the aggressive matchups like Affinity, and then outgrind the decks like Jund. So hopefully we get to see some good games. So stay tuned for the first match here with Dark Bant. I will see you all very, very soon. What's up, guys? Welcome back to this first video here with Dark Bant. Excuse me. Let's take a look at our opener. It's pretty good, right? We have turn 1 Hierarch or Inquisition. We have potentially turn 2 Goyf or turn 2 Geist. Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good keep. Ideally, we want to go turn 1 Hierarch. Looks like we're up against humans, though. So that's interesting. We could go... I kind of want to go Inquisition to disrupt them a little bit. Because Inquisition could get dead very quickly. Those are a lot of mayors. Okay. Mayor is obviously a problematic card, but we're going to be casting a lot of spells on our turns. This pumps humans. We could take Freebooter. Freebooter gives information about our hand. They'll take Gideon. And then they'd have the blind Meddling Mage, which makes Meddling Mage a lot worse. So I like taking the Freebooter here. Mayor could get out of hand for sure. Maybe Mayor's just so powerful that I need to... Well, and then they get the land. So Thalia coming down is pretty tough. Yeah, and our fetches coming into play tapped is really bad. Okay. Hierarch, Mayor. Get smacked for 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's really very good here. And they drew a 1-drop for turn. That is... Good job, opponent. Alright, so we need to start setting up Tarmogoyf here in order to be able to block this Thalia. And next turn we could play Gideon. Our opponent can go double... We just want to find a removal spell here. Like, ideally, we want to find a Maelstrom Pulse to get rid of the Mayors. Getting smacked for 7 here. Next turn we'll have at least Tarmogoyf to block. Wow, we're at 3 already? Jeez, humans. Let's go ahead and get a blue source here. Another Tarmogoyf. Doesn't block that well. Nothing blocks that well on this board here. So we forced to chump the Thalia? No, we're just dead, aren't we? Our opponent doesn't know that, though. We could easily be representing Path to Exile. Yeah, our opponent just had a pretty good set of draws. By set of draws, I mean land into turn 2 Thalia. Kind of beats turn 2 Geist. Meddling Mage, sure. I wonder what they name. Probably Path to Exile. Fatal. That seems. I guess I could get a basic Swamp here. Alright. Thalia wins games. Okay. Let's take it to sideboard here. I like Brutality. It's removal. I like Maelstrom Pulse. Geist is unlikely to get through, so we're going to play more of a control game here. Skoos can end up being a good blocker once we start killing their threats. This is not a Search for Azcanta matchup. I do think Inquisitions are important. So I'm going to keep those in there. It's good to off-tilt them just a little bit. Maybe cut one Gideon, because they do have a lot of flyers and the like, so it's also just expensive. We want to start interacting with the board a bit earlier is the goal. Yes, we'd like to play first. It's a hand, so I'm going to unload my non-basics first, as we saw in that last game. Thalia, a quick Thalia can be pretty rough for us. Alright, so I would say this start is pretty good. Claim territory, human spell. Okay, alright, champion is manageable. So we could get planes here. I kind of want to, because I don't want to shock myself. And next turn we can go Lingering Souls, Flashback Lingering Souls, which is... Ooh, but if they have Freebooter here, maybe that was an argument to play the Lingering Souls. Because Freebooter here is just... I would say it's pretty backbreaking. I mean, then our hand is just lands. Okay, that's not as bad. Champion of the Parish becomes a 3/3. We'll probably be chumping for a bit here, so with Lingering Souls. So I'm not too worried about taking this 3 here. Birds of Paradise, yeah, that's kind of the struggle of... Ooh, I should have played Lingering Souls pre-combat to get a bit of extra damage in there. So instead, we could have been hitting them for 4 here, but we hit them for 3 instead. That was a mistake. Lingering Souls. Yeah, so we missed 1 point of damage here. So we've got a lot of ramp here. Mayor is solid. How am I chump blocking is the question. Alright. I think that's pretty good. Get a creature in the yard for Tarmogoyf. Alright, that's another Tarmogoyf. We do want to find an answer for this champion sooner rather than later. So again, missing 1 point of damage might come back to hurt us. I hope it doesn't, but it might. Alright, just empty our hand here. Is it another Thalia's Lieutenant? That is pretty good. Yep. So we're probably having to have to chump this Champion of the Parish with the Birds of Paradise. If we can find more Lingering Souls, that would be great. Scavenging Ooze, not the worst card in the world, right? If we only attack with 1, we still get in for 4 points of damage, and that way they can't double block. So I'll get in for alright. Let's go ahead and play the Skoos. And we'll make sure to keep 1 creature in the yard at all times for Tarmogoyf. It's another Mayor. That's powerful. That's pretty good. So here they could get in with the Champion and the Thalia's Lieutenant. But then we could double block. How do I like the idea of double blocking here? The alternative is just chumping here. I think the way we get back into this game is finding a removal spell for this Champion. Oh man, I was supposed to chump block the Champion of the Parish. Whoops. Total whoops there. Fatal Push. All right, that's a draw. Let's go ahead and if we attack with both and they block, we can kill one of them and then the other one shrinks. Oh, in fact, the other one doesn't even have to shrink, right? It's just an instant in the yard now. All right, both of these Ghosts are lethal threats now. Another 2-drop? Jeez. All right. Thalia? Thalia's not great. Well, actually, Thalia blocks pretty well. But we only have to attack. We could just attack with 1, right? If we attack with 1, it becomes a 5/6. Go ahead and attack with both, or with 1. That way we get the double exalted trigger. They have to chump here with something. Oh man, not drawing a spell this turn actually really hurts. Because now Mayor is going to flip. And that creates 2/2 creatures at upkeep, which will let our opponent request a land. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, 4 2-drops is not bad, but our opponent is in a decent spot here. They can chump block for days. Yeah. This is rough. Woo, Maelstrom Pulse. Does that do it? I think that more or less does it, right? We kill the Howl Pack, we attack with both. They have to block both of them. Yeah, that was a good draw. All right, we made it to game 3. I did not expect this to. I will be very honest, I did not expect that. No, I think Gideon's just a little too slow. So we played to our outs, right? Playing to our outs was drawing 2 removal spells, basically. We drew Fatal Push into Maelstrom Pulse. Our opponent getting stuck on 2 lands there, definitely helpful. This is the kind of hand that I actually want against humans. Disrupt them a little. Aether Vial. Okay. So that makes the decision pretty easy on whether or not to Fatal Push or Inquisition this turn. Wow. That's a pretty bad hand. That is rough. They do have Horizon Canopy to draw some stuff, but we have a lot of removal spells here. So now we kind of do want to find a threat. Here, let's just Inquisition if they drew a 2-drop or I just drew another land. That is rough. That is a rough opponent. I am sorry. Thing is, we're not like in a great position here. I'm saving these fetches for a 3-drop. Okay, so we know their hand is a bunch of lands. We're sitting pretty with some removal spells here, so it's not the end of the world. Liliana of the Veil. I like the look of that. Get an Overgrown Tomb here. Let's take her upstairs. Let our opponent discard all those lands. What's scary here could be like Aether Vial in a creature. Mayor is pretty good. Think we know their hand though, right? Ancient Ziggurat and Temple Garden. I think. Oh no, they discard Temple Garden, so they have 2 unknowns in hand right now. Stop on my upkeep here. Attack Liliana down. Makes sense. This is at the beginning of each of your end step. I'm going to say okay to the flip. I'm just going to use Liliana because I don't want to uptick this turn. My hand is pretty good. Now we just kind of want to find like a Tarmogoyf, right? We want to find a threat. We want to find something to close out the game. A Lingering Souls even would be great here. Human. All right. So they played one of the Ziggurats. They have 2 unknowns in hand. We could draw like a Gideon or a Siege Rhino. I think I'd rather just tick up Lily here and discard some lands. Our opponent discards Ancient Ziggurat. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Does our opponent tick up Aether Vial to 3 here? No. Aether Vial on 2. All right. Here comes a threat. Please don't be... All right. No Mantis Rider. So I'm actually going to use my Collective Brutality on that. I'm going to save my instant speed removal. Siege Rhino. Yeah, that just about punishes us, right? kill that. Maybe we want it to tick up first. I'm going to discard this Collective Brutality. Our opponents still have lands in hand. Yep, still lands. All right. Uh-oh, what's this? This is like a Staticaster? Sure. All right, our opponent's empty-handed. Basically, all we need is one land to take over a bit. Mantis Rider would be real good here. Dahlia's Lieutenant. Interesting, interesting. I'll just go ahead and Fatal Push that in response. That way we can F6 here. Our Liliana goes down to 2. But we can play a Siege Rhino, hopefully. That's an Abrupt Decay. Again, let's just cash in Liliana here. I'd rather, like, I'm sitting 3 cards to my opponent's 1, all very good in this matchup. So I think I'm okay sitting back. I don't really want to start upticking. I wouldn't have wanted to start upticking Liliana anyways. So Liliana ate about a lot of cards there. Let's just say a lot of cards. All right, Lingering Souls is something, especially now that an Is It Staticaster is out of the way. All right, our opponent drew a threat here. Please don't be a Mayor. Oh my gosh. All right, Mayor it is. All right, so I put a stop on my upkeep. I guess that doesn't really matter. All right, our opponent draws a land. Because we're going to be killing this on our turn, regardless. So I guess we want to Abrupt Decay it. Oh, wait, undo. I guess, yeah, let's go ahead and Abrupt Decay. Green, black. Okay, we get in for 2 damage here. I guess maybe Maelstrom Pulse is better, but if we draw a green source, we can still go Hierarch into Maelstrom Pulse. So we're still like double like locked on green a little bit. So white, blue, red, Mantis Rider. It's a pretty good draw here. Are they just messing with us? They could just be messing with us. Land is pretty good. Maybe it's a Staticaster. In the face of a Staticaster, I think I'd rather slam Rhino. We are gonna get. We're gonna shock ourselves here. All right, it's another Staticaster. Makes sense. They were waiting to see if we were going to flashback Lingering Souls again, which we didn't. All right, opponent drawing lands. This is a great position for us. We probably want to Maelstrom Pulse this. Is it Static Zombie? Our opponent messing with us here. They are flooding a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of bit. All right. Green, black, white. We get in here for 5 damage. Opponent goes down to 6. I have a hard time imagining they have any good draws here. Looks like we bested humans, maybe. All right, GG's. All right, that was the first match there with Dark Bant taken down 5-color humans. one of the top decks in Modern right now. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for another match here with Dark Bant. I'll see you guys soon.